Welcome to this transformative self-coaching program designed to help you integrate and heal the pattern and beliefs of financial guilt. Welcome to this transformative self-coaching program designed to help you integrate and heal the pattern and beliefs of financial guilt. This is an emotional resilience mini course whose goal is to guide you through a process of understanding, reframing, and healing this pattern or belief. Note: this program may evoke strong emotions. It's important that once you start using it, ensure you complete it to the end and follow instructions in order to completely neutralize and calm your emotional state. By proceeding, you accept and take full responsibility for your health and well-being. This is a self-coaching tool and not a replacement for medical advice or therapy. How does it work? An EMDR pattern or ball with bilateral sound has started playing on your video screen. The healing mechanism of this program depends on you keeping your attention on how you feel and your eyes on the movements of the ball or patterns on screen. So follow the movement of the ball, pattern and other visual cues on the screen throughout the program while listening to the audio. EMDR, or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, is proven to help the mind and body heal from trauma or other distressing life experiences. It assists in reprocessing of thoughts, feelings and beliefs to ease your emotional state about the pattern and help you deal better with it. How to use this program. Use this program when you can sit quietly, comfortably and in privacy. Earphones are recommended due to the bilateral sound, though not mandatory. If using your phone or computer, we recommend that you play the video on full screen. You can vary the speed without affecting the effectiveness of the program. Remember to keep your attention on the EMDR screen and sound. If your mind starts to wander, gently redirect your focus back to the moving ball or pattern. Optionally, if your focus can accommodate it, you can also use breathwork, or tap on one or more EFT tapping points to enhance your healing experience. Choose a point that feels comfortable, like the karate chop or collarbone. Alternatively, you may use EFT tapping exclusively if you are not able to watch the EMDR program. See separate tutorials on how to use EFT tapping and breathwork on our YouTube channel. Pre-assessment. Before we begin, take a moment to assess and jot down your current emotional state. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your current level of emotional state as pertains this pattern? Also, what are your expectations from this program? Are you ready? Let's dive in. We'll begin by identifying the challenge you're facing and explore its associated feelings in Section 1. Consult your inner coach in Section 2, and envision new possibilities in Section 3. Finally, we'll bridge these insights to create a way for a more empowered you. Let's get started. Section 1. Unpacking emotional experiences. We begin with a setup of the issue. Even though I struggle with this pattern, I choose to still deeply love, honor and accept myself, and I am open to a more empowering state of being. Take a deep breath. I feel guilty for not saving enough when I had the chance. I regret not investing earlier in my life. I feel guilty for splurging on unnecessary luxuries when I could have been more frugal. I regret accumulating so much credit card debt. I feel guilty for not contributing more to my retirement fund. I regret not being more financially supportive of my family when they needed me. I feel guilty for not educating myself about financial management sooner. I regret buying things to impress others rather than what I needed. I feel guilty for not setting a better financial example for my children. I regret not taking more risks that could have paid off financially. I feel guilty for relying too much on loans and not working harder to pay them off. I regret not negotiating a higher salary when I had the chance. I feel guilty for not being more charitable with my money. I regret letting my emotions drive impulsive purchases. I feel guilty for not planning and sticking to a budget. I regret not learning more about taxes and how to optimize my returns. I feel guilty for the times I gambled and lost money. I regret not seeking financial advice or mentorship. I feel guilty for not prioritizing my health insurance and medical savings. I regret making financial decisions based on what others expected of me. I feel guilty for not being more proactive in managing my debts. I regret not having an emergency fund for tough times. I feel guilty for missing opportunities to increase my income. I regret not updating my will and ensuring my assets are protected. I feel guilty for any financial strain I caused my loved ones. I regret not taking full advantage of my employee benefits. I feel guilty for any unethical choices I made to gain financially. I regret not being more disciplined with my daily spending. I feel guilty for not being more informed about the financial market. I regret any shortcuts I took that compromised my financial security. I feel guilty for not being more assertive in financial negotiations. I regret any investments I made without proper research. I feel guilty for not taking steps to earn passive income. I regret not keeping better financial records and receipts. I feel guilty for any time I lied or was dishonest about my finances. I regret not learning from my past financial mistakes sooner. I feel guilty for not helping friends or family financially when I could have. I regret any time I let pride get in the way of asking for financial help. I feel guilty for not understanding my credit score and how it impacts me. I regret not being more mindful of my financial footprint and its long-term effects. I feel guilty for not talking openly about money and learning from others. I regret any missed bill payments and the stress it caused. I feel guilty for not being more strategic about paying off my mortgage. I regret any financial secrets I kept from my partner. I feel guilty for not taking the time to understand my investments. I regret any impulse buys that I later realized were unnecessary. I feel guilty for the stress my financial instability caused me and others. I regret not being more generous when I had the means. I feel guilty for not prioritizing my financial education. I regret any moments where fear stopped me from making sound financial decisions. Section 2. Feel into this balanced, compassionate perspective from your inner coach. Maintain your attention on the EMDR screen, following the movements of the shape or pattern with your eyes. I acknowledge my feelings of guilt for not saving enough, and I gently embrace this part of my journey with understanding and kindness. I warmly accept my regrets about not investing earlier and recognize this as a step in my financial learning path. I compassionately understand my guilt over past luxuries and envelop these feelings with care and empathy. I accept and hold space for my regret over accumulating credit card debt, offering myself patience and compassion. I lovingly recognize my guilt for not contributing more to retirement and gently remind myself of my continuous growth. I embrace my past regrets about family support with a heart full of understanding and gentle forgiveness. I acknowledge and accept my guilt for not learning about financial management sooner, and I treat this realization with kindness. I compassionately accept my regret for past purchases made to impress others and understand this is part of my journey. I gently hold my guilt for not setting a financial example for my children, wrapping this feeling in love and acceptance. I embrace my regret for not taking financial risks with a spirit of understanding and gentle acceptance. I lovingly acknowledge my guilt over loan reliance and commit to treating myself with kindness and understanding. I accept my regret for not negotiating higher salaries with open arms and a compassionate heart. I hold my guilt about charity with gentle hands, enveloping it in warmth and understanding. I warmly embrace my regret over impulsive purchases, offering myself compassion and patience. I lovingly accept my feelings of guilt for not adhering to a budget and envelop these feelings in understanding. I gently acknowledge my regret over not learning about taxes and wrap this understanding in warmth and care. I compassionately hold space for my guilt about gambling losses, treating myself with kindness and empathy. I accept my regret for not seeking financial advice with a compassionate and understanding heart. I lovingly recognize my guilt over health insurance and medical savings and gently remind myself of my power to grow. I embrace my regret over decisions made for others with a heart full of understanding and compassion. I acknowledge my guilt for debt management and wrap this recognition in gentle, loving acceptance. I accept my regret for not having an emergency fund with compassion and a deep understanding of my journey. I hold my guilt over missed income opportunities in a space of compassion and gentle forgiveness. I gently embrace my regret for not updating my will, understanding that each day is a new opportunity for growth. I lovingly accept the guilt I feel for financial strain caused and wrap this feeling in warmth and empathy. I acknowledge and envelop my regret for not using employee benefits fully with a compassionate heart. I compassionately understand my guilt over unethical financial choices and envelop these feelings with care and empathy. I accept my regret for a lack of daily spending discipline with understanding and a gentle reminder of my growth. I lovingly recognize my guilt for not being informed about the financial market and remind myself of my journey. I embrace my regret for financial shortcuts with a heart full of understanding and a spirit of forgiveness. I hold my guilt for not being assertive in negotiations with a gentle, understanding embrace. I compassionately accept my regret for uninformed investments and recognize this as part of my learning path. I gently acknowledge my guilt for not earning passive income and wrap this feeling in love and acceptance. I lovingly hold my regret for poor record keeping, offering myself patience and understanding. I accept my guilt over financial dishonesty with a compassionate heart and a mind open to change. I embrace my regret for not learning from financial mistakes sooner with understanding and self-compassion. I acknowledge my guilt for not helping others financially and envelop this feeling with warmth and gentle acceptance. I accept my regret for letting pride interfere with seeking help, offering myself understanding and kindness. I hold my guilt about credit scores in a space of compassion and seek to understand this part of my journey. I lovingly recognize my regret for not being mindful of my financial footprint and gently remind myself of my path to growth. I warmly embrace my guilt for not discussing money openly, offering myself patience and compassion. I accept my regret for missed bill payments with a heart full of understanding and a spirit of forgiveness. I gently hold my guilt for mortgage strategies. With loving acceptance and a reminder of continuous learning, I compassionately acknowledge my regret for keeping financial secrets and wrap this in understanding and empathy. I lovingly accept my guilt for not understanding investments and envelop this feeling in gentle, nurturing care. I embrace my regret for impulse buys, understanding that each decision is a part of my financial journey. I hold my guilt for causing stress with financial instability in a space of compassion and gentle acceptance. I accept my regret for not being more generous with open arms and a heart ready to learn and grow. I lovingly recognize my guilt for not prioritizing financial education and remind myself of my continuous path to growth. I gently embrace my regret for fear-based financial decisions, offering myself compassion and a belief in change. Section 3. Visualizing positive change. Take a deep breath. I am choosing now to acknowledge my past and actively save with gratitude and foresight. I am open to learning from my past and investing wisely with an eye toward a prosperous future. I could consider the joy of frugality, appreciating the luxury of simplicity and financial security. It would be nice if I now embrace a journey toward debt freedom, celebrating each step towards financial liberation. It is possible that every contribution to my retirement is a step towards a secure and joyful future. I can start acknowledging my past and creating a plan to be more supportive, turning regret into positive action. I am willing to explore the world of financial management now, embracing the wisdom it brings to my life. I have the opportunity to make purchases that reflect my true needs and values, finding satisfaction in authenticity. I am capable of setting a strong financial example for my children, turning guilt into a legacy of wisdom. I embrace the idea of calculated risks, seeing each decision as an opportunity for growth and financial success. I am ready to take responsibility for my loans, seeing each payment as a step towards freedom and empowerment. I am beginning to see the value in advocating for my worth, approaching salary negotiations with confidence and clarity. I am receptive to the joy of giving, allowing my charitable actions to enrich my spirit and community. I am shifting towards mindful spending, letting each purchase reflect my true needs and joys. I am open-minded about creating and adhering to a budget, finding freedom in financial discipline. I am allowing myself to learn about taxes, seeing each lesson as an opportunity to optimize my financial well-being. I can imagine a life free from gambling, embracing stability and the joy of secure savings. It might be beneficial to seek financial advice, opening myself to the wisdom and experience of others. I am prepared to prioritize my health insurance and medical savings, seeing this as an act of self-care and foresight. I am choosing to focus on making decisions that reflect my true self, not the expectations of others. I am open to the possibility of proactive debt management, embracing the peace and empowerment it brings. I can see the potential for creating an emergency fund, recognizing the security and calm it will provide. I am becoming more aware of income opportunities, welcoming the abundance they bring into my life. I am starting to believe in the importance of updating my will, ensuring peace of mind for myself and my loved ones. I am ready to let go of past financial strains and create a future of mutual support and care. I am exploring the idea of fully utilizing my employee benefits, recognizing the value and security they provide. I am creating space for ethical financial choices, aligning my actions with my values for inner peace and prosperity. I am entertaining the thought of disciplined daily spending, finding joy in stability and long-term security. I am willing to consider becoming more informed about the financial market, embracing the power of knowledge. I am opening myself up to learning from past shortcuts, making decisions that ensure long-term financial security. I can see the value in being assertive in financial negotiations, recognizing my worth and advocating for my interests. I am leaning towards thorough research before investing, embracing the confidence and security it brings. I am actively seeking ways to earn passive income, opening doors to financial freedom and creative fulfillment. I am choosing to see the benefits of keeping meticulous financial records, enjoying the clarity and control it provides. I am curious about living with financial honesty, appreciating the trust and integrity it fosters within and around me. I can adopt a perspective of learning from past mistakes, turning each lesson into a stepping stone towards financial wisdom. I am embracing the opportunity to help others financially, turning past guilt into future acts of kindness and connection. It could be worth exploring asking for help when needed, embracing humility and the support of my community. I am reminding myself that understanding my credit score empowers me, turning knowledge into financial health. I am acknowledging the potential in mindful financial planning, seeing the long-term benefits of each wise decision. I am inviting the possibility of open conversations about money, embracing the learning and growth it brings. I am willing to shift my perspective on bill payments, seeing each as an opportunity for stability and peace. I can choose to view paying off my mortgage strategically as a journey towards freedom and financial empowerment. I am considering the idea of transparency in financial matters with my partner, fostering trust and mutual support. I am open to trying to understand my investments, seeing the wisdom and security knowledge brings. I am recognizing the power of mindful purchases, allowing each decision to reflect my true needs and values. I am becoming more open to addressing financial stress constructively, turning anxiety into proactive and positive change. I am taking steps towards generosity, seeing each act of giving as an investment in my happiness and the well-being of others. I can reframe my perspective on financial education, embracing learning as a lifelong journey towards empowerment. I am willing to explore different ways of thinking about fear and finances, turning apprehension into informed, courageous action. Section 4. Bridging the two worlds from emotion to aspiration. Remember to maintain your focus on the EMDR screen, following the movements of the shape or pattern with your eyes. Even though I feel guilty for not saving enough when I had the chance, I acknowledge my feelings with understanding and kindness, and I am choosing now to actively save with gratitude and foresight. Although I regret not investing earlier in my life, I warmly accept this regret as a step in my learning path, and I am open to investing wisely with an eye toward a prosperous future. While I feel guilty for splurging on unnecessary luxuries, I compassionately understand these feelings and could consider the joy of frugality, appreciating the luxury of simplicity and security. Even though I regret accumulating so much credit card debt, I accept and hold this regret with patience and compassion, and it would be nice if I now embrace a journey toward debt freedom. While I feel guilty for not contributing more to my retirement fund, I lovingly recognize this guilt and believe it is possible that every contribution is a step towards a secure future. Even though I regret not being more financially supportive of my family, I embrace this regret with understanding and can start creating a plan to turn regret into positive action. While I feel guilty for not educating myself about financial management sooner, I acknowledge and accept this guilt with kindness and am willing to explore the world of financial management now. Although I regret buying things to impress others, I compassionately accept this regret and have the opportunity to make purchases that reflect my true needs and values. While I feel guilty for not setting a better financial example for my children, I gently hold this guilt and am capable of setting a strong financial example, turning guilt into a legacy of wisdom. Even though I regret not taking more risks that could have paid off financially, I embrace this regret with understanding and embrace the idea of calculated risks for growth and success. While I feel guilty for relying too much on loans, I lovingly acknowledge this guilt and am ready to take responsibility, seeing each payment as a step towards freedom. Although I regret not negotiating a higher salary, I accept this regret with compassion and am beginning to see the value in advocating for my worth with confidence. While I feel guilty for not being more charitable, I hold this guilt with gentle hands and am receptive to the joy of giving, allowing my actions to enrich my spirit and community. Even though I regret letting my emotions drive impulsive purchases, I warmly embrace this regret and am shifting towards mindful spending that reflects my true needs and joys. While I feel guilty for not planning and sticking to a budget, I lovingly accept this feeling and am open-minded about creating and adhering to a budget for financial freedom. Although I regret not learning more about taxes, I gently acknowledge this regret and am allowing myself to learn, seeing each lesson as an opportunity for financial well-being. While I feel guilty for the times I gambled and lost money, I compassionately hold space for this guilt and can imagine a life free from gambling, embracing stability. Even though I regret not seeking financial advice, I accept this regret with a compassionate heart and might find it beneficial to seek advice, opening myself to wisdom. While I feel guilty for not prioritizing health insurance and medical savings, I lovingly recognize this guilt and am prepared to prioritize this, seeing it as an act of self-care. Although I regret making decisions based on others' expectations, I embrace this regret with understanding and am choosing to focus on making decisions that reflect my true self. While I feel guilty for not being more proactive in managing my debts, I acknowledge this guilt with gentle acceptance and am open to the possibility of proactive debt management. Even though I regret not having an emergency fund, I accept this regret with compassion and can see the potential for creating one, recognizing the security it will provide. While I feel guilty for missing opportunities to increase my income, I hold this guilt in a space of compassion and am becoming more aware of income opportunities and the abundance they bring. Although I regret not updating my will and ensuring my assets are protected, I gently embrace this regret and am starting to believe in the importance of updating my will for peace of mind. While I feel guilty for any financial strain I caused my loved ones, I lovingly accept this guilt and am ready to let go of past strains to create a future of mutual support and care. Even though I regret not taking full advantage of my employee benefits, I acknowledge and envelop this regret with compassion and am exploring the idea of fully utilizing my benefits. While I feel guilty for any unethical choices I made to gain financially, I compassionately understand this guilt and am creating space for ethical choices, aligning my actions with my values. Although I regret not being more disciplined with my daily spending, I accept this regret with understanding and am entertaining the thought of disciplined spending for long-term security. While I feel guilty for not being more informed about the financial market, I lovingly recognize this guilt and am willing to consider becoming more informed, embracing the power of knowledge. Even though I regret any shortcuts I took that compromised my financial security, I embrace this regret with a heart full of understanding and am opening myself up to learning from past shortcuts. While I feel guilty for not being more assertive in financial negotiations, I hold this guilt with a gentle, understanding embrace and can see the value in being assertive, recognizing my worth. Although I regret any investments I made without proper research, I compassionately accept this regret and am leaning towards thorough research before investing for confidence and security. While I feel guilty for not taking steps to earn passive income, I gently acknowledge this guilt and am actively seeking ways to earn passive income, opening doors to financial freedom. Even though I regret not keeping better financial records and receipts, I accept this regret with patience and am choosing to see the benefits of meticulous record keeping for clarity and control. While I feel guilty for any time I lied or was dishonest about my finances, I accept this guilt with a compassionate heart and am curious about living with financial honesty and integrity. Although I regret not learning from my past financial mistakes sooner, I embrace this regret with understanding and can adopt a perspective of learning from mistakes for financial wisdom. While I feel guilty for not helping friends or family financially when I could have, I acknowledge this guilt with warmth and am embracing the opportunity to help others, turning guilt into kindness. Even though I regret any time I let pride get in the way of asking for help, I accept this regret with understanding and could explore asking for help when needed, embracing support. While I feel guilty for not understanding my credit score and its impact, I hold this guilt in a space of compassion and am reminding myself that understanding empowers me towards financial health. Although I regret not being more mindful of my financial footprint, I lovingly recognize this regret and am acknowledging the potential in mindful financial planning, seeing the long-term benefits of each wise decision. While I feel guilty for not talking openly about money, I warmly embrace this guilt, inviting the possibility of open conversations about money and the growth it brings. Even though I regret any missed bill payments and the stress it caused, I accept this regret with a heart full of understanding and am willing to shift my perspective, seeing each payment as an opportunity for stability. While I feel guilty for not being more strategic about paying off my mortgage, I gently hold this guilt with loving acceptance and can choose to view paying off my mortgage strategically as a journey towards freedom. Although I regret any financial secrets I kept from my partner, I compassionately acknowledge this regret and am considering the idea of transparency, fostering trust and mutual support. While I feel guilty for not taking the time to understand my investments, I lovingly accept this guilt and am open to trying to understand them, seeing the wisdom and security knowledge brings. Even though I regret any impulse buys that I later realized were unnecessary, I embrace this regret with understanding and am recognizing the power of mindful purchases that reflect my true needs. While I feel guilty for the stress my financial instability caused me and others, I hold this guilt in a space of compassion and am becoming more open to addressing financial stress constructively. Although I regret not being more generous when I had the means, I accept this regret with open arms and am taking steps towards generosity, seeing each act as an investment in happiness and well-being. While I feel guilty for not prioritizing my financial education, I lovingly recognize this guilt and can reframe my perspective on financial education, embracing it as a lifelong journey towards empowerment. Even though I regret any moments where fear stopped me from making sound financial decisions, I gently embrace this regret and am willing to explore different ways of thinking about fear and finances, turning apprehension into informed, courageous action. If you were tapping, you can stop tapping as we go into gratitude. Section 5. Preemptive Gratitude for Transformation. These affirmations are designed to uplift your spirit, align you with your highest self, and resonate with the boundless love and support that the universe offers you. I am grateful for the financial wisdom I've gained. Every lesson is a stepping stone to my abundance. I am thankful for my ability to make informed decisions, celebrating each choice that brings me closer to financial freedom. I cherish the journey that has led me to a deeper understanding of my worth and the value of my contributions. I am grateful for the peace and stability that come from living within my means, honoring my financial journey with wisdom and care. I appreciate the resilience I have developed, recognizing every challenge as an opportunity to grow and thrive. I am thankful for the strength I find in forgiveness, releasing past regrets to make way for a prosperous future. I am grateful for the courage to face my financial fears, turning apprehension into positive, empowered action. I cherish the sense of empowerment that comes from taking control of my finances, welcoming abundance with open arms. I am thankful for the newfound confidence to discuss money matters openly, learning from others and sharing my journey. I am grateful for the opportunity to help and support others, knowing that generosity enriches my life just as much as theirs. I appreciate my commitment to continuous learning, embracing every bit of financial knowledge as a precious gift. I am thankful for the clarity and understanding that come from keeping meticulous financial records and plans. I cherish the freedom that comes from releasing the weight of financial stress, embracing a future of stability and joy. I am grateful for the supportive community and resources I've found, knowing I am not alone in my journey to financial wellness. I appreciate my higher self and source energy for guiding me towards a future where I am financially secure and at peace. Section 6. Closing and Next Steps. Take a deep, rejuvenating breath. Congratulations on completing this transformative session. You explored your then emotional reality, cultivated compassionate acceptance for it, tapped into new subconscious choices and intentions, bridged these aspects into a cohesive healing journey, and culminated with affirmations of preemptive gratitude. May this process support and empower your continued journey toward healing, growth, and self-realization. Take a note of how you feel in comparison to how you started, and consider journaling your notes about this session and any areas you'd like to explore. Be attentive to the potential reduction in the emotional weight of certain memories and actual circumstance shifts in your daily life. Note that it may take one, several, or many uses of this program to completely clear or reframe this pattern and beliefs. This program and affirmations serve to fortify your inner journey toward a more empowered state.